bitch. Fuck you talking about, man. We out this thing. Fuck it.
Good gas, got the junkies impatient. Fuck the kitchen, bitch, I'm back in the basement. Want to feature, I'ma need me my payments. Fuck the faking brother,
20
send a
hours?
location.
About a month.
No, it did not.
Yeah, about a month.
Before you dropped it and broke it?
I didn't drop it.
I thought it was before that. I thought that you broke it right away because I was making fun of you for not having a screen protector.
Yeah, no, the way that broke was not by dropping it.
What'd you do?
I was wearing a
Whoa, see, you're trying to go crazy.
jacket at work, and I had it in a pocket right here where my chest is.
It
And then
fell out.
I pressed against another tool when I was trying to cut a branch.
You've been
it
cutting
broke.
branches, man.
I
Isn't that how you
Don't let Danny use the hedge clippers.
broke your hand?
Then it
Broke.
broke my phone.
Broke your hand.
The pain was indescribable.
It's indescribable. It wasn't broken though, so it's pretty describable.
I mean, my hand is still broken, so
Well, welcome to the very first edition of Back in the Basement, Out of the Basement. We are here at the Powell family cabin in illustrious no man's land between Long Beach and Ilwaco, Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
awesome.
Southwest corner of the state. We got a lovely view of the ocean behind us.
That's where we are.
This is a model of the cabin right here. The view of the ocean behind us, you can't see it because it's too bright out there and we don't have enough lights to make it so you can see us and out there. If we'd have done it around sunset last night, we could have made it work. But I was getting a time lapse out there, and then Danny had to get pizza,
no beer,
and
both,
and pizza rolls.
Both. So those are both needed things
Hot
on
Pockets.
a road trip.
Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets are very important.
But this detailed model in front of us, you can see that's exactly what the cabin is. There's stuff. There's bridge. There's a fucking deck. You can look at the ocean from there. It's cool. This model was made by a dead guy now. He's dead now.
R.I.P. Gene.
He made it like
R.I.P.
right before he died, and it's incredibly detailed, and it's amazing. He's never been to the cabin, but he made, just off of pictures, he was able to make an incredibly detailed picture or model
That is
of the
pretty
cabin.
cool.
It's really weird. That was cool of him. He was a good guy.
So this is currently the last day of me and Danny's cabin trip. We're gonna head back later tonight. Sam's staying an extra day.
Going
Maybe
home.
an extra 2 days.
Maybe an extra 2 days.
Apparently no one's going to show up till
Have fun with the gravel guy at
the
night.
11th or the 10th. Have fun with the gravel guy.
Well,
I have a fear inside of me that if I stay alone at the cabin, something of a horror movie is going to go down where I'm the only one here, and then that's when the bad guys show up outside with knives and stuff. And apparently the other night,
okay, well, I'll tell the story because I'm the one who saw it.
I didn't fucking even wake up. You tried to wake me up. It didn't work.
Well, there's from where I was sleeping, I can see the window that goes to like out towards the driveway, and there's a motion sensor light out there. And about maybe 1:30 in the morning, that motion sensor light kicked on, and I heard like the crunching of gravel, the crunch.
It's just a rock driveway out there.
Yeah,
loose gravel, so you could hear it if it's crunching.
So it was most likely a deer.
You would think, honestly, if
Could have been something
you're
else.
in here and you could hear the crunching of the gravel, it had to be something big. Like a normal person's footsteps, they would probably, if they're trying to creep on the cars or the cabin, they would try to be discreet about it.
Well,
And if the motion sensor went off, you'd hear like them
Yeah, they
running.
probably try to book it.
But if it's a fucking bear or a deer or a cougar or a coyote or whatever, then it's not going to react to the light as much.
I would think that an animal would react to the light more because they weren't expecting it, whereas a human would kind of expect a motion sensor on
I
a
don't know.
light.
Maybe the human would run because they'd be scared, and then maybe
The
and
human
because
would
we
freeze.
because we had cars here too.
Yeah.
I think that the animal would freeze and be like, "What the fuck?" Because he's probably used to motion sensor lights around here, creeping on other people's houses. Everyone probably has them. Either that or I'm gonna get like murdered tonight. So
So
we'll find out. I guess I'll sleep with a weapon.
So yeah, crazy stuff in the woods
close
on
all
the
your
coast.
blinds.
It's
Lock
just
the windows.
It was a bear or something.
Well, I think it's not something small because you can hear the ocean from here.
Bears are big.
It was big enough to set off the.
Bears and cougars
Motion
and
sensor.
shit. Like cougars have those big fucking paws. You're gonna hear them crunching on gravel. Same with bears.
I think you'd hear a deer as well.
Yeah, that's true. And there's a lot of deer.
See, I don't know if you'd hear a coyote though, because they're not. I think coyotes at their heaviest are like 50 pounds. Like a full-grown male is like 50 pounds,
Yeah.
and they're very light on their feet. You know.
Well, I mean, as long as a person doesn't show up here, then I'll be good. None of the animals.
I mean, even if someone
Try and
does
get
show
in
up,
here.
just let them in, give them a beer, you know,
hang out, smoke
hang
a
out,
bowl.
smoke a bowl, watch a movie.
Yeah, I got a bunch of movies here. We watched a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
What have we watched?
We watched Talladega Nights.
Classic.
It's a good one. We watched
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Idiocracy was pretty
Classic.
good.
Idiocracy.
Danny, you
What-
slept through
Idiocracy was good, but Danny slept through 95% of the movie.
I was tired.
But you watched Seven when we first got here without
Oh,
Nate.
yeah, that was a really good movie.
Thriller. It's good.
I like
Brad
the
Pitt.
Thriller.
What's in the box? You've never seen it though.
I've never seen it though.
Do you know what's in the box though?
His soul? I don't
Oh
know.
well, no. Then you
His
should.
wife's decapitated head.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, I guess you
okay.
shouldn't.
Spoilers.
I guess you shouldn't watch it because Danny just ruined the movie. For
It's
you.
an old movie.
All right.
If you haven't caught on by
Kevin
now,
Spacey
you
plays
never
the
will.
Killer. It's really good.
Kevin Spacey's a
So
good
the
actor.
detectives are Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, and then the killer that they're chasing the whole time is Kevin Spacey. It's pretty good cast. And what's her name is Brad Pitt's wife that gets her head cut off and put in a box.
Iron Man's wife, Gwyneth
Paltrow. There you go.
Paltrow.
Yep.
Iron Man's wife. That's the only thing I know her as.
She was in.
I'm sure she's been in other.
She was in
movies.
Shallow Hal.
Oh yeah, she was.
Yeah, she's been in other stuff too.
That
Good
was a
for her.
movie.
But
So other stuff we've done here at the cabin. We went to.
we haven't done go karts or Funland.
Yeah,
we could do that after the podcast.
I would want to do that, and I'm sad we didn't do it before the podcast, so we could talk more shit about who won
But
go karts.
if we would have done it before, it would have been. I'd rather it be mostly just us racing.
yeah,
And this is the busiest weekend by far for this town. So
just a little beach town.
we've been here since Thursday, and it's Sunday now. So everything has been super just packed and overcrowded. So kind of been avoiding the town.
I definitely like coming here in the winter better. It's
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
it's
and
like
it's
the
not like once you
less
get here, the
people.
weather's that much better in the summer.
yeah the it's been
still
cloudy
not,
and
it's still not hot.
we've all been wearing rain jackets and hoodies the entire time.
Every
so.
now and then you get like a good little window of good weather, but for the most part, it just is
See, in the winter you
overcast,
can just you
and
can
it's always windy. You're right on the coast.
yeah you can count on the weather to be shitty in the winter, and then
The
Yes.
sunsets are gnarly.
Sometimes
right
you
now,
get pleasantly surprised and get a nice sunny day.
yeah.
though. Those
But the
summer
best thing is
sunsets.
just that the town is not totally overrun and congested.
Yeah.
But since I'm staying here these extra couple days, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want in town. After today, no one's going to be here.
You're just gonna end up staying here and keep watching movies. Put on a little bit of Sunny.
You know what, man? I'll fucking go down to the bar, try that, drink a couple beers, go get drunk and play fucking video games at Funland. Spend like $10 at Funland, drunk as shit. And then maybe I go to the candy store and get some candy, come back here, eat some candy, share the candy with fucking Gravel Man when he shows up. And we'll have a great time. We'll eat candy and like chocolate covered Twinkies. We'll have a great time. Watch movies. I still got tons of movies. I would like to watch some movies over there that we didn't watch yet.
So we went to Astoria. We went to the Rogue Brewery.
Always.
Got that bottle of single malt Oregon
Lasted
whiskey.
less than 24 hours.
Yeah, because
How many ounces is the bottle? Whatever is normal.
it was a regular sized bottle. It's
I
around
recommend
here.
mixing that drink with the Georgia Peach
Probably-
Coke.
Don't mix it
Do
with
not mix it
anything.
with anything.
It is the best thing
is
ever.
the
That's
best.
why it went so fast. Is because you were mixing it with your goddamn peach Coke.
Yeah,
I only did it
you had
twice.
more than a
This is a
third.
$60 bottle, very reasonably priced.
So good.
for a delicious,
So good.
buttery smooth bottle of whiskey. Rogue Oregon single malt.
That's the one to get.
That's the one to get. But Danny was here mixing it with Coke, and I kept trying to tell him, if you want to mix something with Coke, go down and buy a bottle of goddamn Jack Daniels or Jameson or Jim Beam or something like that. You can pour all of that in your Coke that you want, because you're not tasting the flavor of the whiskey in the Coke. You're just tasting the alcohol of it and the flavor of the Coke.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Coke in itself is pretty rare. Georgia Peach Coke. Come on.
You can get it at any Fred Meyer, QFC, Kroger, Thriftway, wherever your regional
Target.
grocery chain is.
I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, you can only find Georgia Peach Coke in Long Beach, Washington.
And raspberry Coke.
That
It's
makes
crazy.
sense. They only put it up here. It's exclusive.
Yeah.
So do
It's
not
all part
put
of the vacation.
nice whiskey into your mixed drinks.
Yeah, and really that is the best whiskey I've ever had.
Yeah, and the whole
It's
reason.
so smooth. It doesn't even...
Yeah.
Usually hard alcohol of any kind, I'm more of a beer guy. Hard alcohol just doesn't ever taste good to me. But that really is so
Buttery.
good. It doesn't... There's no need for a chaser or nothing. It's just so delicious.
Yeah.
Pop a couple ice cubes in your glass and drink away.
See, the reason that cocktails and mixed drinks even got started is because the bathtub moonshine that they were drinking was so terrible that they had to dilute it with something.
Really?
Yeah. That's how cocktails got started during the Prohibition era.
Really? So it's like, oh shit, this is...
Because, like, this whiskey is so terrible, we've got to put something else in it to make
some
it palatable.
fucking juice of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. I would think that would come about before that, just because some people would be like, yeah, if you mix this with something, it might taste good. Better.
Yeah, especially
Well, they didn't
that
really-
Georgia Peach.
They didn't really have anything to mix it with back then. Like, you couldn't get... If it's 1800, you can't just get a bottle of fruit juice.
You can't?
If you want a bottle of apple
You
juice
gotta
in
do it
1800,
yourself?
you have to squeeze some goddamn apples.
Well, everyone did it back then. It wouldn't be that hard.
I think there's probably one guy in town who was, making jams and ciders and stuff like that. And the other thing is, since they didn't have refrigeration, you couldn't preserve these things a long time. Apple juice won't last very long outside of refrigeration, just like an apple won't.
That just randomly reminded me of when me, Stu, and Hannah moved in the apartment in Finn Hill. There's this old lady that was like, oh, I always welcome the new people. I make a jam. And it was like, what do you want? And she named me all the flavors, and one of them was like 5-berry jam. So I got that one from her for free. And it was so good. It's like the best jam I've ever had in my life.
There's a nectarine jam I've
And
been
her
getting.
name was Ruth, and that's the same name as my grandma, my grandma Ruth. But I never bought, because she was like, I sell them too, but I didn't eat enough jam where I got rid of that jar very quickly. I only
Yeah.
lived there for a year. I'm pretty sure the jar lasted the whole year.
Jar of jam will last you a few months at least.
And then I saw her, like, she is old, so she had like a wheelchair ramp and stuff, and then I saw it getting removed once when I was walking my dog, so I just figured she died.
Yeah, probably.
Sad.
I got some nectarine jam at QFC. It's fantastic.
Mm.
I like nectarines.
I gotta have some kind of berry jam. I don't know what I like. Maybe raspberry?
Just regular
Mixed
strawberry
berry?
jam.
Strawberry.
That's what we used to get, the Smuckers.
Basic.
Yeah, that's like the most
No,
basic you
honestly,
can
I
get.
have no clue. I would just eat whatever jam my mom got. I just... the taste of peanut butter covers up whatever berry it is anyways. Who fucking cares?
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Skippy's peanut butter.
And that's all I got was fucking peanut butter and jelly or tuna fish or like peanut butter and butter back in the day. Sometimes lunch meat. But I didn't fucking like lunch meat when I was a kid. I didn't really like cold meat.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I only liked hot, like freshly cooked meat.
Yeah.
It's weird, man.
Cold meat's kind of slimy. Like lunch meat's kind of slimy.
It is a little slimy. I love it now, though. I'll eat a nice Jimmy John sandwich or something every now and then. Roast beef, turkey.
Mm-hmm.
But it is pretty fucking slimy. That's probably why I only went... It's not like tuna fish is any better, though.
I don't know. Tuna fish is the shit.
Probably not now that I'm an adult, but I used to eat that shit all the time when I was a
Tuna
kid.
melt.
I'd make a tuna fish triple decker. Then my breath would just probably smell like shit for the next week.
I've never eaten tuna fish in my life because the smell has always made me gag.
Really? Not
Yeah.
even once?
Not even once.
Do you like mayonnaise?
Not particularly.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's what it is you just mix tuna fish with mayonnaise and then you eat it on bread.
Yeah.
That's what
Whenever I go to
tuna
Subway,
sandwich
that's what I get till this day. Is a
is. I don't
tuna
go to
sandwich.
Subway. Subway.
I said when I do go to
Subway
Subway.
is played out, man. You got to go to fucking... If you want cold cuts, go to Jimmy John's because they got their really good bread. And then if you want a
I've
hot
had tuna
sub,
from there, too.
go to Jersey Mike's because they got cheesesteaks.
Sometimes I just gotta eat fresh.
Where'd you go?
Plug your local business, Sarducci's.
Oh, yeah, no, if you want a hot sub, go to Sarducci's in downtown Kirkland, right across the street from fucking 7-Eleven there in downtown Kirkland.
Yeah, it's in Houghton.
Houghton, okay. But anyways, best meatball sub I've ever had in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza sub, too. The pizza sub's really good, but the meatball sub is the best meatball sub I've ever had. Their meatballs are so good.
Their bread's really good. The fresh bread is the thing that takes the sandwich to the next level.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so. If you've got a great meatball, great sauce, great cheese, terrible bread, it's not going to be a good sandwich. The fresh bread, you got to have fresh bread.
That's for like any food though. It's like with pizza, it's all about it comes down to crust. Everything. Crust, sauce, cheese. But the crust has got to be good.
Yeah.
That's where we just ate a Serious Pizza. They have good crust, even though
Serious
I didn't get pizza.
pizza.
I didn't get pizza, but the crust is good.
Yeah, that crust is good. All right, so let's get down to the root of the issue.
What's the root of the issue?
The root of the issue
What
is that we come to this cabin and it's a peaceful place. It's a place for relaxing and
Very relaxing.
and
so
unwinding.
relaxing. If you could see the ocean behind us, you would know how.
I got the
relaxing
time
it
lapse,
is.
so I'll put the time lapse at the
Put the
beginning
time
of this
lapse
video.
of the cabin up right now.
It's a beautiful sunset. Did you
the
enjoy that sunset?
Sunset, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And maybe a couple pictures.
I took a shitload of pictures.
Looks
See?
like something at the line.
We had a couple of really good. That's the one benefit of coming here in the summer is you're gonna have a way better chance of getting that clear sky for just a beautiful sunset.
Yeah,
Because there's always gonna be some clouds out there, but even we were talking about the sunset on the 4th was good. And
it wasn't really.
The
though.
sunset on the 5th was better
This-
because I said the sunset
The
tomorrow.
the sunset on the 5th was better, and then the 6th was good.
I
But
said-
the 4th was not good.
I said we'll catch a good one. Or no, maybe I was thinking of the 5th then because the 6th was better. The 5th looked good, but there was a lot of clouds.
Mm-hmm.
Then the 6th, 6th yesterday was really good. There was like no clouds out there. It was super clear.
Yeah.
Looked really cool.
Yeah.
Some Lion King looking shit.
So anyway, this is this cabin sits about 150 feet over the Pacific Ocean, probably about a mile back from the beach.
She knows nothing.
But you've got a clear.
Those could be way off, but
I've looked it up one time.
you looked it up one time.
Yeah, I looked it up
What'd
one
you
time.
look it up on?
The U.S.
Samscabin.com?
The USGS topographical maps. You can download them for free at usgs.gov.
And you
/Google.
pinpointed the cabin and figured out where it was?
Yeah, it shows you the roads. You pinpoint where the cabin is, and then you use the isolines to interpolate the elevation at that point. Yeah,
Is that a word?
it is a word. To interpolate is to, let's say you have data point A and data point C.
Uh-huh.
You use those to interpolate data point B. You get what I'm saying here?
Where the cabin might be?
Yes.
You're like, the cabin's probably right here.
So-
I interpolated
So
that.
you've got a line, you've got a line that says 100 feet. You've got a line that says 150, and the cabin's halfway between those. So you interpolate. The cabin's maybe 125, 130, something like that.
All right, fine. I don't know if I believe you, but
They call me the interpolator.
I'm pretty gullible.
not a
so-
very good movie. It's a flop. Interpolator.
Who was in that movie?
It's probably right here. Yeah, well, we don't need you anymore. Go home, John Cusack, because that's apparently who you look like.
Okay, so this is a nice, peaceful place that we like to come to, and every
Very
time
relaxing.
every time we come here,
Very relaxing.
every time we come here, Danny's on edge. He's waking up in the morning, and first thing in the morning, he's dropping bombs.
I am not.
He makes a lot of jokes about mothers.
It's inappropriate.
I do not.
Says a lot of words that aren't PC.
It's uncalled for.
But that's kind of what happens at the cabin. Is we blow off some steam here.
Yeah.
I think what happened was maybe once me, Paul, and Danny were here, and we decided to just make this our trip to be very, very un-PC. And we were saying very...
No filter.
Yeah, no filter at all, saying very, very harsh things. And maybe that just stuck with Danny, and now he's like, every time I go to the cabin, I'm going to be terrible.
But do you think that might be the future? Is that in the PC world we're living in, people are going to want to get to a space where they can drop all of that and
actually
and blow that steam off, I guess.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's almost like a cycle, because back in the day when like television and all that first started, it was very PC because you gotta, everything was way more religious back then. You gotta protect the kids and all that.
Well,
bullshit.
you had a much more conservative culture.
Exactly, you gotta respect all that bullshit. But then, coming up 90s, 2000s and stuff, when we were coming up, it was very un-PC. You were saying all kinds of slurs on TV and stuff, and people didn't really freak out at all. But now...
So it swung hard one way and then hard the other way?
And now it's swinging the other way where you can't say anything without getting in trouble. And I have a feeling it's heading towards swinging the other way in the next couple years, where there's going to be some movie or some show or something that will come out where it's just awful. Like imagine if Clayton Bigsby, Black White Supremacist, came out like today. People would freak out. But when that came out, it was like early 2000s, like 2004 or some shit like that. And it was considered groundbreaking or whatever. And, I agree. I love Chappelle. He's my favorite comedian.
There was still
time.
Backlash at that time.
Absolutely, but not as much as there would be now.
Yeah, I think so.
It would be just total hell right now. He would be like blackballed from performing at any clubs. Like, you do one thing now, and now the internet is after you like nothing. Like, just crazy. They come after you. But, I think it's swinging the other way. It's right now.
There's always going to be something pushing.
Right now, it's not. I don't think it's at the height. Yeah, there's always going to be someone doing something, but it's how accepted they are based on how the culture is at the moment. Like right now, PC, like you got to be proper to every single race and group and sexual orientation, that you can't really do anything without fear of getting backlash. But I think it'll go a little bit higher, where some people are going to get torn down or something bad's going to happen to some people. But eventually that pendulum's swinging back, and, stuff will go on. And the one constant the whole time has always been South Park. They can get away with anything at any moment.
Well, they're grandfathered in.
They are grandfathered.
Because if anyone,
I was just watching this episode the other day from whenever year Bruce Jenner became Caitlyn Jenner, and they were just ripping so hard on him becoming a woman.
They've got a huge body of work behind them, so that whenever they get criticism for any particular issue they touch, they can say, well, we made this episode 15 years ago.
Well, since they've been making episodes since in the 90s, that's back when like the pendulum was swinging. Like when they started, the pendulum was kind of...
They broke the record for most swear words in a movie theater movie.
I think that the pendulum, when they kind of started, was swinging more in the way of the conservative side, where you can't say certain things, you can't make fun of certain people, and they just ignored that and did whatever they wanted, and they gained so much popularity. And then this pendulum we've been speaking about was swinging more towards the non-PC side when they got to their height, and they were making just anything they wanted.
Yeah.
And now they, like you said, they're grandfathered in with all the extreme stuff they did. Michael Jackson, it's the one that comes to mind just first off the bat. The Mormon episode, anything making fun of religion of any kind, or a certain just culture, which is like every episode.
I mean, they had like Jesus and Santa Claus shooting machine guns.
That was way back in the day.
That was way back when.
So they're grandfathered in. They do whatever they want, and I love it.
So that's why Danny's very aggressive when we come out here. He's blowing off his PC steam.
I guess so, yeah.
So
because you can't yell at people at work or
And
whatever.
I wouldn't call it aggression either. If someone's gonna say
No,
something
it's all
slick,
jokes.
yeah, you're
It's
always gonna
all
clap
jokes.
back, you know.
But no one says
It's
anything
like-
slick. That's the thing. Is no one says anything, and then you make terrible mom jokes.
Yeah,
Not towards me, honestly. It's just kind of been you versus Nate this whole cabin trip. I've just been in the background going, ooh, oh.
you're
He
the
said
mediator.
he said he's gonna have sex with your mother.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we never crossed the line though.
No,
We say some
there's-
crazy shit, but as far as crossing the line, we know.
As much as
you
we've been
know.
talking about PC culture and stuff, there is a fine line.
I think we've towed that line.
But the no. The
Even if we have.
PC line is different than like the friendship line.
Yeah.
That's
Because
the line I'm talking
PC
about.
line is like someone you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna risk saying something
Oh yeah.
in
Some
front of
teeth
them
would've
where
been
you're
pushed
gonna
in.
end up having a whole mob against you, and you're gonna have to run away onto a
let's-
fucking taxi. or
Let's
something.
everyone in the world just not acknowledge that when we're around our friends, we all say horrible
Yeah,
things.
no, the
I think it's a
friendship
universal
line.
thing, bro.
yeah.
The friendship
yeah.
line is much farther than the PC line is like near the start, and the friendship line is like 30,000 times farther than that. I said so many awful things to my friends. Just on this trip alone, I've said awful things to you. And like I said, I'm not even the one that's the aggressor this trip. It's mostly you two.
Supposedly
I've just
me,
been
yeah.
saying awful things to each other, and I haven't been saying that much. It's just I just am in the background encouraging. That's my job.
Yeah, it's fun. You're like the hype man for both sides.
It is really fun. I'm Future for both sides. My
Yeah.
boy Future is an Uncle Tom.
Well, I told the story about the gravel man. You want to tell the story about Danny's sleep moaning?
Oh yeah, that was the first night ever.
They were coming for me.
So
I'm telling you.
we all laid down, and it was the 4th. It was fucking late at night, and I laid down in the room, and then Danny's on the fold-out couch, and Nate's on like the day bed, which is kind of hard to explain, but I don't know. Maybe
It's just like a couch without a back on
maybe
it.
you should take a shot with the camera of like a little tour of the cabin really quick, and you
I've
play-
got that photo of you with your sweatshirt on your legs.
That's the day bed. You can do that. That was one time I went to the cabin back in the day, and I forgot to bring pants. That's happened to me actually more than one time. I forgot to bring pants one time. Actually, I think it's been pants every time. I forget to bring pants.
Because you wear shorts in the car.
I wear shorts in the car, and then I just don't bring pants because I'm stupid.
Yep. So anyway,
But anyways, yeah, and then I sleep in the room, which is in the back, but
There's no
only
door.
one room in the whole cabin. It's the bedroom I sleep in. There's no door. It's just a curtain, and it started off with we all laid down, and then within 120 seconds,
Yeah,
2 minutes,
not long.
I was
at
tired.
all.
Danny just started.
I was pretty beat.
And then I didn't say anything because I'm polite. I'll just ignore it. I can fall asleep. But Nate started, Danny, wake up.
Dreams are crazy,
Started
bro.
clapping, and then he didn't respond, but he stopped, so we quit. But then that was the only part that Nate really had to deal with, apparently, because then within another probably 120 seconds, Nate was already asleep doing normal people snoring. And then Danny started doing like moaning snoring where instead of just breathing out, it was moaning. So it was like.
That's crazy, dude.
And I just sat in there just silently
They were
because
coming for me.
I just didn't. I figured eventually, like a normal person, he's gonna roll in his sleep or something, and it'll disrupt that. I don't want to wake a person up in the middle of sleep. It's not a nice thing to do. But he kept going for like 5 more minutes. But
You
then
had a
he
hard
did
time
eventually
sleeping?
stop. But goddamn, it was really annoying.
Yeah, I think I was so tired that I fell asleep facing up, and that normally doesn't happen.
Well,
So
like
when
we
I-
saw
like you said,
even
when I rolled over,
earlier,
that
we
kinda
saw this
stopped it.
dude.
because it hasn't been a problem the rest.
Oh, wait, was that
rest
last
of the
night
cabin
that
trip.
he fell asleep like a dead
like a
body?
dead person? Yeah, just face down on the pillow.
You had your face down in the pillow
It looked like you
completely,
couldn't breathe,
and
dude.
you had your one arm just hanging off the edge, all
Yeah.
limp like a dead body. Because you were like, "Someone load a bowl," and then 2 seconds later, you were like, just your legs were like laying all weird too. You looked like someone had tossed you on there, not like you were laying naturally.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was pretty comfy.
That's
I guess
what
that's
happens.
when you're tired is
But
when
you woke
make
up for the bowl
noises and,
anyway. So.
sleep like dead people.
Well,
Make
he
noises
sleeps
and
like
sleep
someone that
dead
got
people.
killed and then thrown into a dumpster or something. And you sleep like someone that got killed and then got neatly wrapped up by
Toe
the mob.
tag.
Yeah, like they neatly wrapped you up in a sheet or something because I remember that picture I took.
do
of
that
you.
for the
You know what?
bugs,
I'm going
bro.
to send you that picture so you can put it on the podcast now that we have the graphics.
Spiders will get you.
That's him sleeping in that slider, that fucking recliner right over there. I'm going to take a nap when me, him, and Paul were here. And then I looked back at him and he's wrapped up like a fucking dead body from the mob in a blanket.
Keep the bugs out.
He puts his head like under a blanket when he sleeps. I think that's bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't breathe when I do that.
Right? You get all like...
It gets pretty hot.
It
I
does
sweat
get
a lot
hot.
when I sleep.
Probably because it's the condensation of your hot breath.
Makes sense, yeah.
It does make sense.
But I want to keep the bugs out. Bugs.
So
Beer.
it's going to be a fucking terrible drive home today. It's the end of 4th of July weekend. It's a Sunday of 4th
Honestly,
of July
I think you
weekend.
guys are going to be absolutely fine.
You think so?
Yeah.
I
I
think,
think
so too.
if you guys are going to, like
The
you
longer
said,
we
if
wait-
you're going to leave here
It's
late,
about 3.5 hours back to where we live.
The
and
longer
you,
we wait,
you got to think too, you're
we'll be
not...
fine.
Exactly. The longer you wait, you're not going to. You're not going to leave like during rush hour, so you should be fine. Everyone else left early in the day.
There's going to be traffic in Tacoma regardless.
Yeah, Tacoma. And once you get back to the cities, there just will be traffic, but not that bad.
Okay, speaking of that, Danny, can one of your cousins pick you up in Seattle?
No.
Yeah, probably not. I haven't spoke to anyone.
Man, that's gonna add to my trip by like an hour.
I could throw you an extra 20 bones.
There you go.
Yeah, but
Hey, be a friend.
Be a friend.
be a friend to the person who's been saying horrible things to me all weekend.
Especially about your mother.
Especially about my mother.
As
It's
a
not like
matter
you
of-
haven't been
Who
saying-
bought you a pair of chonklets?
You
You
know what?
haven't
As
been
a
saying
matter
anything
of
back.
fact, I would say only about your mother.
Yeah.
You've been saying
He
plenty of
hasn't
things
been
back.
saying bad things about anything other than your mother. And you're right. She did buy you a pair of chonklets. But, hey,
I said thank you.
maybe there's a reason she bought him chonklets. I don't know. He's been talking about all these things about your mom. I don't know. Maybe
I never brought
she owed him
anything up
one or
after that.
something. You didn't bring anything up after that. What does that mean?
I mean, you've been saying plenty of things too about my mom, you know?
Me?
Not you. Nate.
Oh, Nate. Yeah. Well, that's because you started.
What's
it,
the
huh?
So-
worst? What's the worst thing I said about your mom?
Let's not talk about each other's moms on the podcast.
You're right. That's probably a fair rule. Let's not. We don't need to get too crazy on the podcast
Yeah.
talking shit.
Yeah, because
We get a little foul sometimes.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, let me get
I
this
think that's what
camera.
America wants.
maybe so.
That's what that's
America.
what the people want.
But America doesn't know what the fuck is going on, so they can keep their business to themselves. How we are.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, right, man. I know. Oh,
Yeah.
I had a burp.
So no one's gonna pick you up.
No.
Just
I
make
mean,
it
it-
worth his while, man. Buy him a balloon.
What about a bro job?
No. I have a nice infused joint we could smoke on the way
Oh, see, he brought that for the car
It's
ride.
wet.
That's
Yeah,
I've
but
been
I
saving
got
it.
a whole Ziploc baggie full of joints.
there. Yeah, but this ain't no regular
And
joint.
and
dude.
also Cesar Daniel Diaz, it is illegal to
Smoke and drive?
smoke cannabis while driving in
I
Washington
wasn't
State.
planning on
Well, we don't do that.
smoking that on
we
the way
stop,
there. Yeah.
and then we wait for the high to wear off, and then we drive again.
It's a 3-hour drive. One of us is going to have to
Yeah,
take
we
a
make it
piss.
6 hours because we wait for the high to wear off.
Yeah. Someone's going to take a piss. You go outside.
Well, we go, we smoke,
you smoke.
we stop, we smoke, and then
you
we
go
eat a barbecue at the ranch house.
on the road
Ranch
again.
House Barbecue, just
best
outside of Olympia,
best
Washington,
Barbecue in the
on
spot,
Highway 8.
and
where to stop.
then we sleep in the car to wear off the high, and let the barbecue settle into our
And then we
veins.
start driving.
And then we start driving once we're sober. And then we crack the road beers and smoke the joints. No, we don't. We do not drive impaired. That's not something you do at the cabin. That's not cool. Are you kidding me? It's the 4th of July. You want to end up like Jason Pierre-Paul and blow off your fingers? Although I just did see a tweet of his that made me laugh. He said, I don't know when's the last time I used my index finger to get a sack. Okay. Are you trying to defend the fact that you blew your hand off with fireworks? You certainly used your index finger to get sacks. Yeah, you used the whole hand, but the index finger's part of it. Right?
Yeah.
Danny knows. You don't know.
I don't know. Are you talking about that dude that
Where
was
am I
deaf?
drinking beer from?
Got deaf from blowing up the fireworks next to his ear?
The Fort George City Dreams Pale Ale. Fort George, which was in Astoria, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good brewery. We went there one time, but we go to the Rogue every time we go to Astoria because it's better.
Yeah. They got better food.
Like Fort George is cool because
They
it's
just had
kinda,
like appetizers,
well,
though.
it's up higher on the hill, so
Yeah.
you get a good look over the Columbia River.
Yeah, and they got the whole wall of windows.
But Rogue is actually on the Columbia River. You drive out on like the pier, which is cool. And then if you get there at the certain right time, you get to see sea lions barking at you like big dumb dogs.
Their food is the shit.
Yeah, the Rogue's got better food. Fort George just had like appetizers.
And they
This is a beer
light-
from
light
that
stuff.
brewery.
Rogue also has a much better beer.
This
Yeah.
Which is what I say as I'm drinking Fort George, which is good. Fort George City Dreams Pale Ale. Good beer.
Dead Guy Ale.
And I'm currently enjoying
Oh, yeah.
Rogue.
the Fort George Vortex IPA.
But Rogue is better, and Rogue Dead Guy Ale is the flagship
Well,
beer.
Rogue's the more. I mean, you get Rogue beer on the East Coast. Rogue's the more successful
Yeah,
brand.
I can find this at
And,
Safeway or whatever down.
I would
back
say I definitely see them more, and they're more experimental with their brews. They got a lot of weird brews.
Yup.
Probably, maybe Rogue's my second favorite brewery behind Elysian.
Mine's got to be Silver City.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got to go out to the Silver City Brewery. It's great.
I'm down.
Mondays, Sunday and Monday, it's like
Well-
half price.
All we got to do to go to the Elysian brewery is go to a fucking Mariners game.
Well, yeah, we go there.
But at this point, the more reason to go there is probably the brewery than the fucking Mariners
Yeah,
game.
that's not the Elysian Brewery though. That's just
that's
just
they
one of-
brew
one-
they
one
do
of their
brew beer
bars.
there.
But I think their main brewery is on like Capitol
Yeah.
Hill or
I'm
Georgetown.
pretty sure
Georgetown.
they brew beer there, though. Am I wrong?
I
And if they
don't
don't, they
know.
brew beer like you said.
yeah, a couple block, half a
Couple-
mile away.
And they just drive the fresh kegs down there.
Yeah,
So it's still fresh.
yeah. Never said it wasn't fresh. I'm just saying.
You said that.
saying that.
No, it's cool. And then you can sit on like the bleacher seating in the bar. That's really cool before a game for some reason. We got to go to a game pretty soon.
It's been a minute, but the Mariners are really terrible.
I know. That's the one unfortunate thing is like the past 5 years before this year was it seemed like we're trying to do something. You know, we're trying to win. We have Cano, Cruz, all these dudes. We're gonna try and do something. And we got so close last year. I mean, we still won 90 games and we didn't make the playoffs.
That hurts.
It does hurt, especially when you haven't made the playoffs for 17 years, 18 years after this year. But
We need a basketball team because there's some
Yeah.
people out there who don't care
you know
about baseball.
what? Speaking of Seattle
Like me.
basketball, what makes me really happy is the Thunder is really leaning towards finally crumbling. Because, right, they left us and they had a good setup, right? They had Durant and Harden
Jeff Green.
and Jeff Green too. And but the main nucleus Durant, Harden, and Westbrook. And then, of course, they trade Harden after his contract ended up because they figured we can't afford this guy to Houston. He's won an MVP. Durant won an MVP with the Thunder and then left and won 2 rings and 2 finals MVPs with the Warriors. So then it was only Westbrook left. So they get Paul George from Indiana. But now Paul George got traded to the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, which is going to be... I think the Clippers maybe are my favorite to win the NBA title next year, just based off of what happens in free agency so far. But
Westbrook to the Lakers.
Westbrook's asking for a trade now too. That's what I was going to say. And honestly, I did hear he was asking for the Lakers.
Yeah, I remember
So
you
if
telling me
he
about
went
that.
there, then it would be him, LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Danny Green, the 3-point defensive 3-and-D specialist. So it's going to be pretty interesting. The LA teams are going to be going at it next year. It's going to be awesome.
I
But
still think Kawhi's pretty
my main point
cold-hearted
bringing
for-
that up is that now that Durant or Westbrook is
leaving.
asking for a trade, after he leaves, it's fucking over. Unless they're really smart with drafting. Because what I heard was, and Sam Presti, the GM for the Thunder, I fucking hate him just because I hate everyone to do with that organization, but he's a good GM. And he traded Paul George to the Clippers, but he got what they've been saying is a historic amount of draft picks for him. And you got to think the NBA draft is only 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting a good player with both of your picks pretty much. And I think his is set up for like the next, up until like 2026. He's going to have multiple first and second round picks. So it could work out for them. You never know. I hope it doesn't. I fucking hate them. And
How are we getting a hockey team before a basketball team?
Another person I heard might get Westbrook is the Rockets. So that would be Chris Paul, James Harden and Westbrook. But those are 3 people that need the ball in their hands at like all times.
And they're all
I didn't
divas.
think it was going to work out for James Harden and Chris Paul, and it ended up working out. They win a bunch of games, but they still couldn't beat the Warriors. And also it came out after the season that they really don't like each other that much, and there's a friction in that locker room. So I don't know what's going on with that. But
They're divas, just like Durant.
they certainly are. I don't like either of them.
And-
I don't like Harden. I don't like Chris Paul. And honestly, I
And
don't
Chris
like
Paul, yeah.
I don't like Westbrook that much, but I feel like that's because he was on the Thunder. If he left the Thunder, I'd probably really like him.
KD's good, but I think he's an asshole. And I kind of respect Kawhi more for leaving Toronto.
I almost feel like Kevin Durant is the opposite of an asshole. He's soft as shit. He's not
Kevin Durant?
He's not an asshole. He's emotional, and
I guess
he
that's
acts
what
like
it
a
is.
little girl all the time, man. He
Kevin
acts like
Durant?
a teenage girl. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He was creating burner Twitter accounts
He's a
to go
diva.
back at people that were talking shit about him.
Yeah.
Dude, you make millions and millions of dollars and you're the top 3 NBA player in the league. Why are you doing this? Don't even pay attention to what anyone says on Twitter, but you're so soft and insecure.
What are you doing?
I'll be right back. You can edit this out.
You gonna take a pee?
I'm gonna load them both.
Well, bring the bowl over here. We'll have a special edition
Oh, it's a special edition.
because one of our listeners told me personally that we should smoke on camera.
Who said that?
Casey said that.
Oh. Well, Casey, you get your wish. We're at the cabin. We're going to smoke. I really wish you guys could honestly see the ocean. It kind of bums me out. If we could have planned better, we could have recorded last night. But we could also come to the cabin some other time and record. Make sure record at sunset because that's the only time they're going to be able to see the background.
Yeah.
And it's so great. It is my favorite view of all time.
And-
Did you see my cousin comment on that sloth background? I guess some people out there.
I know,
think that
right?
shit.
Someone
And he took it down.
liked Danny's weird sloth background. But if we paint and then I put up some cool shit, we'll be good. I got some stuff I can put up.
And here's another thing is that Danny's weed is always gone right away.
Yeah.
Because-
How many times have we had to pick up since we've been here? 3?
3 times.
3 times in
4 days.
fucking 4 days. Because for some reason yesterday we were at a dispensary in Astoria,
The
Oregon.
day before yesterday.
Day before yesterday, where it was great deals, $5, $8, and $11 grams, and he only got 2. You know
And-
how many I got for this trip, just in Astoria? 6.
I bought
6.
a half ounce before I came down here.
There you go. See,
I was
me and you.
I was prepared.
I
How was
already
it?
see. I already had
That's my
weed, and then I
problem.
started running low, so I got 6 more, just because I realized I was only gonna get a couple like he did. But then when I realized I could check out the weed and stuff in the dispensaries, that was awesome.
At the legal
'Cause-
cannabis stores in Washington.
What was it? How like the
all the-
how did the the rule change where in Washington?
Well, it
where
was from medical to recreational. So in medical, they just had big jars of weed that you could open up. You could have a look at it. You could smell it. Look at it under the light.
Well, the place we went to, you could grab it, you could squeeze it.
You can
could
still
whatever
do
you
that at
want.
the Oregon recreational shops, but at the Washington recreational shops, now it all has to be sealed at the distributor,
Yeah.
and it has to be marked with exactly how much weight is in there and what the THC content is.
So it's just you're just looking at it through a plastic bag. You got to squeeze it and try and judge it through the bag, which kind of sucks ass.
But back to the matter at hand is that Danny has now, we've been home from lunch for probably about 30 minutes now, and this is Danny's third bowl
You know,
that
you
he's
guys
loading.
were blown away by the fact that you could smell the weed out of the jar, but back in the day, I had a green card.
You got to talk into the microphone.
I am.
No, you got to turn it so it's towards you. There you go.
Anyways, I used to
Anyways,
buy weed from the... See, back then they used to call them dispensaries, and that's the other issue at hand, is that you have a problem with me calling them dispos, but
Yeah, that's a problem.
they're dispensaries.
Dispensing.
so
Dispensing
are
weed.
you against yourself or are you for yourself? That was very confusing.
What's the point you're trying to make here?
See, it's not that uncommon, I guess, that you could smell weed out of a jar when you're buying weed.
But you can't do that at any
Well, I guess you
Washington
can't do that
stores
anymore, yeah. But back then
That's
you
what
could
we're-
do that all the time.
That's what we're saying is that back when it was just medical cannabis,
Okay. All
and
right.
you had your green card, then you could go and you could smell it
Okay.
and get
Yeah.
exactly as much as you
That
want.
was awesome.
Now it's all pre-sealed.
Well, what I liked about before was that I could
Yeah.
check out the weed beforehand, but it was honestly it was more similar to street prices. It was pretty much $10 to the gram, or if not a little more. The one thing I do like about nowadays is they have sales and specials and stuff, because just so many people in Washington are growing weed now that it's hard for them to sell it. So they sell it for,
Oregon too. There's way more weed than people are buying.
yeah, they sell it for cheaper, so you have to look at it through the bag, and sometimes you can get an eighth for $20, which is like $10 off. So
Yeah, and even if it's Reggie, I love that shit. Because back then, you'd pay $40 for an eighth, and, it wasn't always the 3.5 or whatever exactly.
Yeah,
it was...
no.
It
dealer's
buy it.
dealer's choice.
Yeah, it was depending on
We had
who was
certain
your plug.
we had certain dealers that were great and certain that weren't so great.
Sam Glass was probably the best.
Unfortunately,
probably shouldn't say his name, but-
Weirdly, we bought a lot of people.
That dude
from,
was a plug for real.
Well, we can confuse people and say since we bought people or weed from multiple people, goddamn, that were named Sam, and also my name's Sam, so lots of Sams going on. That
You had the
and
best
also
weed back
two of the
then.
people that we bought from were named Sam G. So we don't have to rat anyone out right now. I'd say that Sam G #1, that wasn't as much the homie. He had better weed.
Yeah,
And
he was super reliable too.
reliable.
He lived right around the corner from me, and I could hit him up
See.
and say, "Hey, do you have any weed?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, meet me outside my place in like 10 minutes." And he'd just be out walking his dog.
and he would hook it up fatter too.
God damn it, Danny! Don't blow it right in front of the camera. Inconsiderate fuck.
And then Sam G #2,
I think it
not
would
as
ruin
good,
everything.
right? Not as good, but he was more the homie. He kicked it with us at Chody's all the time.
Yeah,
I gotta say, going back when
So he was like,
he would sell
he
you weed
was
and
the,
smoke
he
it
was
with
more
you.
the homie, but he would sell it to you
And smoke it
not
with
hook
you.
it up as fat, smoke it with you, and then not like load a bowl back. Which was like, come on, man, we're paying you. Can you at least match us? It's weird.
it feels so weird
He was a hustler.
to go to a state where there's no legal cannabis, especially living.
Last time I did that
living
was
here for so
was,
long.
was
I'm
Georgia.
very considerate, by the way.
Other than that, everywhere I've been going is weed legal.
Yeah.
Oregon, Washington, but down there it's nothing.
You go
right?
meet a drug dealer. It's like, am I in fucking high school again? What's
Yeah,
going
this feels
on?
awkward. Am I gonna get robbed?
Yeah, I haven't done that in years. Bought from someone off the street.
It's probably better that way, right?
It is better that way.
You
now,
it's just an appointment you have on Tuesday. So I gotta go run my errands, pick up weed from the weed store.
yeah, it's right around the corner.
Don't have to wait for goddamn Anthony Gibbs
Right
to meet
around
me
the
down at the
corner.
Safeway for an hour and a half when he lived 2 blocks away. That guy. I don't know if you're watching Anthony, but I remember.
He remembers. Yeah, I remember getting weed back in the day before it was legal was a hassle for sure.
was a
You-
hassle.
You gotta meet up with someone, kind of on their time. It was a
People have it so
motherfucker.
easy these days. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, just go to a store and buy it. You had to meet people back. Sometimes you'd have to
you
go
don't gotta worry
park.
about getting skimped.
Sometimes you'd have to go park at apartments and wait for like an hour. And by the time the dealer gets there, he hooks you up with like a 3.0 eighth, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
But at that point, you have to get it anyways.
Yep.
What is your choice?
So why do you keep loading so many bowls?
I'm feeling it, man. That last one got me.
Okay, so why do I load so many bowls while we're on vacation?
You
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not just when we're
No.
on vacation.
Not having to work the next day.
Okay, that's true. Not just on vacation. You do load a lot of
And,
bowls, but also on
I do
vacation.
smoke a lot of weed.
That's what the cabin's meant for, is nonstop
That's-
drinking and.
That's your answer. I smoke a lot of weed.
What time is it right now?
Probably
Ah, fuck! I gotta take my phone out.
2.
I'll check. It's 2:52, so it's 3,
Oh.
and I have. This is my 6th beer today. At 3. That's
Yeah.
what the cabin's for, though. Nonstop drinking. You know, smoking if that's what you do.
And that's the other thing. I
And
could
that's
say
what
that
I
to
do.
you is why have you had so many beers? Why do you drink so much?
Yeah, man. Why?
I drink. I
do you
smoke
rely
more than
on,
I-
Do you rely
I-
on alcohol? Why have you had? So
I
many
haven't
beers?
had as many beers as you have.
Oh,
I
you
still
mix the
smoke more
good.
than
You
I
mix
drink.
the good fucking whiskey with peach Coke.
Goddamn degenerate.
It's a really rare.
I was getting
Drink.
shit for mixing my good whiskey with
It's
ice.
It's a good drink. It's like summer in a
Whiskey
glass.
on ice is a personal choice.
I wasn't giving you shit for that.
You said I wouldn't. Have it with
It's like
ice.
sunset.
I'm just saying
the
that's my
sunset in
personal
a bottle.
preference. I like my whiskey without ice. You like your
'Cause
whiskey with
you're
ice.
a
Drink it.
whiskey snob.
You can like whiskey and like whiskey with ice.
But what I can say is, ever since you moved to the East Coast, you've become a pizza snob. You
Yeah.
think no pizza's good enough for you.
Yeah.
How about shit? We didn't have pizza this time.
I still eat it, don't I?
Yeah, well, of course. But you're like, this isn't good. This is nothing compared
It's
to.
not like a New York pizza.
This ain't no New York pizza, eh? Fuck you.
Forget about it.
Yeah, forget about you, asshole. You don't know nothing about pizza.
Sam, you're gonna change your tune.
When I go to New York,
Yeah.
I don't think I will. I think I'll
You will.
still say, wow, that pizza was really good. But the pizza at home is also still good.
Well,
I'm still gonna order Domino's.
Yeah,
if you
I'm
s-
not gonna fucking.
If you spend like 9 months eating that pizza and then you got to go back to Domino's.
Maybe it
you
wouldn't
are
be the same,
You
yeah.
are the worst
I-
because Rocco's is a great pizza place.
No,
and you were
it's a
like,
cheese
"Nah,
ball."
It's fucking not that good.
No, the sauce was no good.
Oh my
No.
god.
The
Sauce.
the crust-
See, you even almost turned into sauce.
Sauce is no good.
Sauce was no
The
good.
crust is no good.
Yeah, fuck you, man.
Fucking,
Get
you
outta
gotta have
here.
the fresh mozzarella.
Rocco's in,
Get outta here.
Seattle.
Whenever you say an Italian,
Great pizza.
an Italian cheese or meat, you gotta have your hand like mozzarella,
Man,
gabagool.
fuck you, man. Because the pizza at Rocco's is great.
I'll take you to another pizza spot I found in the U District that is really great.
This guy, all pizza's good.
All
Not all
pizza.
pizza, because I tried 2 times or 3 times in Vietnam where I was like, pizza? Might as well.
Shit, I'll fuck
that's
around
your,
with
And then
that's
we
your
went
fault
from
for
Chuck E.
ordering
Cheese.
pizza in
And then
Vietnam.
One of the pizzas had the sauce was ketchup. And
Yeah.
I remember I let you and Stu try.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you guys. I said, hey, man, try this pizza. And I let you beat it.
No, we were all real testy by that point.
I let you eat it, and both of you were like, ah. Like, I think you might have both spit it out. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure the sauce is ketchup.
that was at the 2 week mark where we had all like had enough, and we were staying
Honestly,
at a shitty hotel.
that one time where the pizza sauce was ketchup was the one place
The
where
Jazz Hotel.
Jazz Hotel where Da Nang, where
Da
me,
Nang.
you, and Stu were just at each other's throats.
Yeah.
That place was
It was
awful.
more you and Stu, and that's why I like rented a moped and went away for the day because you guys were just fucking bickering with each other.
I know, man. I couldn't. It makes sense though. You know, we're trapped with each other for long enough.
And that hotel was terrible. Before that, we'd been at 2 super
know.
nice hotels.
The fucking Vin Pearl and the first one, whatever it was called.
yeah.
Something on the lake. It was
Yeah.
good. But then that third place was so god awful. Everything about it was bad. The AC was fucked up. The doors didn't seal. The outlets were fucked. The beds were like concrete slabs.
Yeah.
It was so bad
Still sounds like a
that
nice
we
trip.
booked it. We booked it for 3 nights and left after 1.
Yeah.
We're just like, not only am I done with this
I'm done with
hotel,
this whole city.
I'm done with this city. Let's move on. And then was the next place
The next one was the
Hanoi?
No, the next place was Hoi An. We stayed. That was a super nice. Like,
Oh yeah, no, that's what I meant.
Hoi
The
An,
the
Silk
capital.
Village, Silk
Yeah, yeah,
Village,
yeah.
and then we could only stay there one night because I guess it was booked up for
But
a
the
wedding.
second place was good too.
Yeah, that was a nice place too.
Except for those fucking Australian kids.
Yeah.
Amelia!
Americans get a bad rap as being bad tourists, but really,
Australians are worse.
are worse, and the Chinese are way worse.
Amelia!
You remember?
They were literally screaming the whole time.
Remember we were
there.
going to take the boat over to Vin Pearl, and it was that big marble room with the high
And
stone
the kid
ceiling.
was just running around.
Yeah, there was like
screaming.
a 4-year-old kid just screaming his fucking head off, just running around the entire place. Chinese kid, and his mother was making a very half-hearted attempt to try to stop him, just following behind him like, oh. And he
Fucking rich-ass
didn't
people.
care.
That's when you got to pull out the chancla as a parent.
But we didn't have
But
to.
yeah, they're
In
not.
any culture.
They're not pulling
Yeah.
out the chancla, I guess.
No, they don't pull out anything.
But, well, it's the thing
They
with
pull
like,
out the fucking nanny.
with
Go get my kid.
China is such a male-focused culture that like a firstborn Chinese boy can do no wrong in his parents' eyes. So
You'd still think they get their ass whooped, though. I
so
mean,
they don't get their ass whooped
It's
because
a stereotype when it comes to school and grades.
yeah,
is
because
they're scared of their parents.
yeah, but their mothers like idealize their sons, so you know they don't whoop their asses. You know, if we've got
That's
any
crazy.
if we've got any native Chinese listeners out there, please help us shed some light on this topic. Comment
Yeah.
on this video.
Do you guys pull
Tell-
out the chancla?
Yeah.
You guys have something else?
If you know
Use-
how often do Chinese mothers dole out ass whoopings, and
Yeah.
what is their weapon of choice? See, Danny's mom, he comes from a Latin family.
Yeah, if it wasn't the chancla, it was a hanger.
Yeah, his his mom beat his ass with her sandal.
Yeah.
See, and I came from a colder climate where my mom would have had to unlace her shoes to take off her shoes, so she would usually just reach for a wooden kitchen spoon to beat my ass.
Mine was almost exclusively mother and father was spatula,
Yep.
which is bad as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that hurt.
But when it would be funny because it was almost all my memories are me and my brother Max getting in trouble because me and Max were only 2.5 years apart and me and Andy were like 5.5 or something. Anyways, so I didn't have many altercations with Andy because he was so much older than me, but Max I fought every day of my life, ever, always, until it's now. But I would remember we'd get in trouble, and if it was my dad that would send us to our room, because me and Max shared a room forever, it'd be my dad would send us to our room, and it would be, if my dad sent us to the room, we'd go to the room in actual fear. Like, oh shit, we'd both be crying, like this is bad. It would just go lay down on your bed and like pull your pants down, like expose your butt. Yeah, 'cause now I'm going to come in there and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And it'd be scared. My dad, looking back on it, he probably didn't even hit us that hard.
Wasn't going 100%.
Not even. He was probably going like 20, but just because it was my dad, like the fear in us probably made it worse. But then whenever it was my dad was gone or something or working and my mom go back into her room and lay down and we would sit there and we would act scared when my mom came in with the spatula. And she'd hit us and we'd, oh my God, we'd cry and stuff. And then immediately when
Crack
she
up
left
when
the
she
room,
leaves.
we'd both just look at each other. Oh, damn. She thought she got us, man. Like, let's just chill for 20 minutes and then we're good.
Yeah, no, for us it was the opposite. I was
Yeah,
scared
for
of
me
my
it was
mom.
opposite too.
Oh,
scared
my
of
my
my
dad
mom.
would be like, "I'm going to tell your mother about this."
Yeah, mine was, my
Yeah.
mom's too nice and my dad was scary, but he very rarely disciplined us.
The
It was
wor-
almost always my mom. If my dad disciplined us, we must have really fucked up.
The most severe physical abuse my dad ever inflicted on me as a child is when he just flicked me on the head, which would hurt.
It does hurt.
But yeah, just whenever I was acting up, it just gave me a quick flick on the head, and
One time my dad cold-hearted slapped me Godfather style, just pop. And it's because I said, "Try again, motherfucker."
yeah,
From, from Friday. Yeah.
And he did.
And I was trying to be funny, and he was having a serious moment.
Hey, he
I
tried
said,
again,
"Try again, motherfucker." Pop.
and he succeeded.
That's like the one time I remember my dad putting his hands on me. Every other time he never. It was always my mom.
Yeah.
Coming
My
at
mom
me.
would just swing any weapon she could find at me.
I guess
Yeah.
that's where we differ. Mine was always, and I don't know. I think it's just my mom was nice enough where she probably disciplined us most of the time, but it was never scary. She's too nice.
Yeah, good times.
Dad was scary though. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah, when my dad did get pissed, it was scary. Like, he never put his hands on me or nothing, but he would yell or whatever.
I mean, when
And,
either of my parents got mad, it was scary. I was definitely still scared of my mom, but she just didn't do the punishment part.
Every girl I've ever dated has told me she's afraid of my mom.
Nice.
I guess I don't see it because she's been yelling at me since I was born.
Yeah, when you have people yelling at you the whole time.
Yeah,
I
I
get
remember.
used to it.
I remember that one time that me and you and Stu were over at my house, and I went upstairs to talk to my dad, and we were talking to each other. And my dad doesn't hear that good. First of all, this was before he got hearing aids, actually. So I had to yell to talk to him, and I come from a East Coast family that yells a lot. So while I was up there talking to my dad, Danny leans over to Stu and says, "Nate and his dad are yelling at each other. Are they fighting?" And Stu just, "No, that's just how they talk to each other."
Yeah. This is how it is.
Yeah.
You adjust to life at the Gettleman house pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Upon
after
being
being
there.
over there a couple times,
Mhm.
I
It's
saw.
like one of the first times I ever been there. It's like your dad just walked out in boxers. It's like, "Hey, what are you doing in my house?"
Paul said the same thing.
Like, I'm Nate's friend.
I'm pretty sure I was there that time you got in a fight with your brother. And if I wasn't, I
Oh
heard
no,
about it.
I was there right after. I was
When
the
you
one.
guys
Well,
that
I've
got
gotten in a
to-
couple fights with my brother.
Well, yeah.
But the
you
story
guys
I
aren't-
hear is
You guys
memorable
aren't
'cause you
buddies.
guys-
We'll put it that way.
Had a Star Wars moment.
I know, right? I have the high ground, Anakin. Danikin, and you're. I don't got nothing for Obi-Wan. I can't mix that in with Nate.
Obi-Wan Kennedy, Nate B. I don't
You
know.
were like a brother
Nope.
to me.
Ah,
Except you were a brother to me.
whoa, burping and hiccuping.
Yeah, quit burping into the microphone.
I didn't do that. I didn't burp nothing.
That wasn't even a burp.
No, it wasn't.
I can't help it though. It just happens. I burp and I hiccup and I've drunk. I've been drinking since fucking whenever I woke up. 10 a.m.
I could use some agua.
Drink
I
a
probably
beer.
could too. Which is the lucky thing for me is I think that honestly when we came here and there was that other like water jug in the fridge, I'm pretty sure that's from us last time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And if I'm gonna stay 1 to 2 more days, then I'll use that. I'll drink it.
Sure.
Because obviously, once you guys leave, I'm not going to drink as much. I'll drink much more. I'll drink much more. I'll go get a big jug of whiskey and I'll just drink much more and sleep and watch movies that I've seen a bunch of times and go pick up some floozy from town.
Townies. Depends if you have any meth.
I got tons of meth, dude, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I bought them from the fireworks stand guy. I didn't get fireworks either. This is all a lie. I wouldn't spend money on fireworks.
Could probably still go get some.
The
for a
fireworks
discount.
were fucking sweet though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Almost annoying because it went forever.
Yeah, it was just like 3 or
From
4
like-
straight hours
From
of,
like 9 to.
and you could
12.
see like several miles of the beach from here, and just
Yeah.
all of them had fireworks.
you guys just didn't want to fucking, do the war zone,
Sorry,
which would have
we're
been
antisocial.
awesome. But
We did see cars stacked up there for hours trying to get off the beach.
I just lied and told my family that we went to the war zone so they wouldn't give me shit since I took the 4th.
Nice.
But this was the first time I've seen the fireworks from the porch or the deck out here. It was fucking awesome because
Yeah.
we look down from our view from here that you can't see with these shades behind us is beach and ocean, and you just see for however
Like probably like 10 miles up the
however many
coast.
miles you can see down the coast. And
the whole
yeah,
coast
it was
was laced with
crazy,
fireworks, yeah.
dude. It was gnarly out there.
Just
And then
imagine like a 5-mile line of fireworks.
when we saw, honestly, when we finally did see the city show was still the best. Because everyone else was just lighting off normal ass fireworks. But what were some of the city show stuff we saw?
they had the Atom.
The atom was the coolest, man. It blew
the
up.
UFO, the
It
heart.
blew up into the shape of an atom. There was a heart, a circle. You said a UFO. I don't remember seeing
Or
that.
it was like I thought it was a helicopter. You guys said it was a UFO.
No, the one that
There
I
was the one that
started
would
falling
glide.
down.
the one I saw.
It would blow up, but it would stay lit and slowly descend.
Yeah, it would just
Yeah.
descend to the ground. The one I saw, I said was a helicopter. So you saw a helicopter too?
I thought
I saw a
more like
helicopter.
That one
okay,
was
I
the
guess.
fucking dopest. It
You
like
said UFO then.
it went into the perfect form of a helicopter and just like dropped to the ground.
Maybe I just saw UFO. When
And then
grab guy was up
when they
there.
did the grand finale, it was just like fucking
Yeah.
just shooting that many into the air at the same time.
But even then, they kept
kinda-
going after that.
It's
like
weird
another
when
hour.
that many fireworks are going off at the same time. It actually like lights up
Yeah.
everything around it. Goddamn, so cool. The ones I like the best, even better than the shape ones still, are the ones that explode and they look like almost like willow trees, like they rain down
Yeah.
sparks. Those ones are fucking
The big
cool.
ball ones. Yeah.
But yeah, you guys didn't want to go see the war zone and
Well,
get
we were just talking about how great the view
exploded.
was from up here.
You don't want to get exploded by random people. That's all I'm saying.
We're antisocial.
I'm trying to get blown up by people I don't know.
I almost did that in Brussels one time.
Yeah.
I went to Brussels, Belgium for New Year's one time, and they had like a fireworks display in the town square. But then people were also just lighting their own fireworks and tossing them into the crowd. So you'd hear it sticks to your feet and fucking run.
Damn.
That's sketchy.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Belgium is a whole lot sketchier than you think it is. I guess when you just imagine
I have no thoughts on how sketchy Belgium is.
Yeah, but when you imagine Belgium, you think like, okay, it's just some kind
Not
of
sketchy at all.
European country that, you know, safe and nice and old. Trash everywhere. Fucking 2 of my friends got their wallets lifted. It was Belgium. Brussels
Man.
is sketchy as hell.
I feel
I
like
don't know.
if you get pickpocketed or get your wallet stolen or anything, that's on you, man.
I don't feel safe here.
I mean, me and you,
It's never happened to me.
we went to
I don't feel
Vietnam
safe
and we were
here
chill.
in our soil.
And we were going around like Old Town in Vietnam and
Wouldn't feel
stuff.
safe
Where
It was
anywhere
there-
super
else.
crowded.
it was like literally you had to shuffle your way between people. And that was the one thing I got
Definitely
warned
wouldn't feel
about
safe
before. It was
abroad.
like, be careful.
You've
of your
never
shit.
been abroad. What do you fuck are you talking about feeling safe abroad?
I've been to Canada.
I'm going to. I'm thinking about
when
going
have you been to
abroad.
Canada?
Canada is a
That's not abroad.
That's not first of all, it's not abroad. Second of all, when have you
Isn't
been to
abroad
Canada?
over
It's pretty
water?
far out.
Yeah.
Over
pretty
water
far.
is abroad, Danny. Come on.
I went on a ferry.
I hate you.
When did you go to Canada?
It was a while ago, over 10 years ago.
For what purpose?
We took the ferry out to Victoria.
Weed.
Who's
and,
we?
Yeah, it was me, my dad's mom, and his sisters. They have their visa, so they were able to do that.
So you went to Victoria for an afternoon, and you've been to Canada.
Yeah, I've been to Canada.
So I changed planes at the Detroit airport. I've been to Michigan.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
I actually, I was in a
Technically, you
layover.
have.
I was in 2 layovers in Taiwan for.
Yeah.
One was for I think 3 hours, and the other one was for like 4. So I've been to Taiwan.
Yeah.
It was dope, man.
What I'm
There
trying to
was,
say,
like,
though,
There was restaurants and you could buy neck pillows at places, and there was cigarettes and liquor you could buy at the store that whatever means you get it for cheaper.
what
What's
I'm
it
trying to
called?
say
Duty
is
free.
Duty free.
I
No
don't feel
poop
safe
in here.
I wouldn't feel safe anywhere else.
Where?
No, I'm saying I don't feel safe here. I wouldn't feel safe anywhere else. If
You
I were
don't
going
feel
to-
safe here?
Like, for example, you're telling Sam to go to Puerto Vallarta or fucking Italy or whatever.
I got it.
I would still, I'd go, but I'd be sketched out. I wouldn't feel 100% safe.
Well,
You got to be aware of your surroundings at all times.
no, you definitely do have to be aware of your surroundings. But I'm not going to go anywhere that I feel too sketched out by. I think I'll go on a trip, though. The more we talk about it, it'd be cool.
I think that would be cool. If I were you, I'd do it.
So this is the first episode of Back in the Basement that we've got professional graphics, courtesy of my good friend Cesar Perez.
Thanks, Caesar.
If you
Not this one,
thanks,
though.
Caesar number 1 is the Caesar who made us graphics. This is
See Caesar number 2?
This is Caesar number 2 over here.
Damn.
Caesar number 2 from episode 1 before the
Oh.
graphics. So shout out to Caesar.
Take that, Caesar.
Anyway,
I'm number 1.
he made us these awesome graphics. If you like his graphics, send him an email at
we got
CesarPerezDesign@gmail.com.
a feud of the Caesars. I'm putting the money on our Caesar because I've never met the other one.
Well, we'll have to have. I think he said he's coming up this way sometime the next year, so we'll have to have him on the podcast.
Sure.
He's
Sure.
he's also
Caesar are overall pretty good dudes.
well, he is.
I don't know.
They're,
If I
they're
looked up
interesting people.
bad Caesar people, I'd probably find quite a few.
Well, he's also.
I mean, there was Julius.
His family comes from El Salvador, so you guys have that in common too.
Oh, that is pretty cool. Yeah.
So you really have to
I'm
fight.
not 100% Salvadorian. I wouldn't fight him. If anything, he would be more of a friend to me than he is to you.
Would
know?
he be more
Whoa.
like just meeting him?
Just because he's my people.
from meeting him, just because his name's Caesar and he's from El Salvador, would you be better friends with him than you are friends with us? Like, would you have a deeper connection with him?
Hey,
than you
I
have
don't
with
know.
us?
I don't know what all this us stuff is, but maybe this guy, right? Me and this guy.
What are you doing here?
We're cool. Oh, are you helping me?
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels at an awkward angle. I have to look over to you.
So yeah. Who's
At the end of the day, you guys have been my friends since like school. So
like school?
but we're not-
What kind of school?
But we're
Huh?
not Latino, and you were just saying how you want a special dating app to meet Latina women.
yeah, but it's not the same thing. Like, he could be Latino, but that doesn't make him a good person.
He's a very
you know?
good person. He's a great person.
Well, I'm speaking about someone I don't know, so
Yeah.
you can speak for him, but I don't know him. What I'm trying to say is, I
No,
have to
he's
find out
he's
for
like
myself.
smart and intelligent and friendly and kind and generous. Everything you're not really.
Okay.
Well dressed, handsome.
You see, that's
wow.
yeah.
And this is your friend.
Yeah, we're friends. So that's what you think about me. I don't know what the fuck.
What do you think about Nate? Let's hear it.
I don't know. I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know.
See, look, this is a nice guy over here. He's either nice guy or dumb guy because he can't
Yeah.
think of anything to say.
Yeah, you're
I'm
talking
gonna go
about
with nice guy.
you're talking about me being aggressive and stuff. I mean,
Oh, he switched it up for the podcast. To
I
make
wouldn't.
you-
I
he
wouldn't
wanted to
describe
make
as
you look
aggressive.
bad. He
Yeah.
wants to make you look bad. So
Let's
You're-
argue. Let's
you're
argue,
the
Danny.
best.
Let's argue.
Let's argue.
Let's argue.
God, you guys say that so much at the cabin.
Let's argue.
Let's argue about something, and I'm never the central part of it. It's always them arguing with each other about nothing.
And you're feeling left out?
And all I want to do is watch movies and stuff and eat pizza.
I mean, you can argue too.
Oh, shit. This is a secret burp. Came out of nowhere. Whew. Fort George. Skippity.
Well, what are we
Yeah.
going to argue about?
Yeah, you guys got to argue about
We got to
something.
argue about
You
something.
just said let's argue.
Find a topic. I don't know. Who died?
Jared Lorenzen, R.I.P.
Hefty lefty.
I don't even know who that is.
The round mound of touchdown.
Damn right you don't know who he is. Because you're a poop ass.
I'll Google him sometime.
What were some of those current event stories you want to talk about?
Well, let's see. I don't know if I don't really like. This is still a new phone. I don't know how to access parts of it, but
Well, we got current events with Sam here. Sam bookmarks stories that he
that I deem worthy.
catch his interest,
Yeah. Okay.
and for the purpose of talking about it on the podcast. And he's been bookmarking some stories, and now we've got
Oh my God,
we've got a
dude.
podcast to
I'm
talk about
looking.
them on.
One is I didn't bookmark it, but Mac Dre would have been 49 yesterday.
Too hard for the fucking radio.
He is too hard for the fucking radio, and
R.I.P.
that's why he's dead. A lot of it is just shit that's supposed to be like towards me, like Star Wars shit and hip hop stuff. Vanilla Ice goes to haunted museum. Claims ghost touched him. Watch. I don't know if I will. I don't know how to get to my saved pages.
What's another current event we're talking about? Women's World Cup. We were talking about that this morning.
What about him? We were already talking about him on the podcast, you drunken man.
I don't think we were.
Yes. Yes.
We didn't talk about Women's World Cup.
Yes. Well, I'll click on the Vanilla Ice one and save that, just because that's the only way I know how to get to my saved pages. I'll probably fucking read about Vanilla Ice at a haunted mansion at some point. I believe it, dude. He's a haunted seeming guy. You know, Ice Ice Baby. He shouldn't have stole that shit from Queen.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here we go. What are we feeling? Oh my god, I didn't realize I saved so many.
Just pick one. I'm gonna get a beer.
Oh man, I didn't realize there's so many of these albums that I bookmarked but never read. Is that bad?
Yes.
Should I read them before I talk about them on the podcast?
Well, I mean, maybe just glance at them.
That's what I'm doing. Where should I start?
Skim read.
Steve Carell ends feud with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I didn't know they had a feud.
Well, all right, let's figure out about it, because I read a little bit about it. Maybe there's not a feud. Maybe I'm a feud.
Family Feud.
Mm-hmm.
It's very common.
So, Danny, you got a
And also, you can edit this so there's like no in between.
Yeah. We could talk about Danny's Tinder matches.
Let's see.
Or we could not.
Okay, next time Danny's on the podcast, we're going to have screenshots of his last 10 Tinder matches.
I never signed up for this. What is this?
You've been volunteered.
This is blasphemy.
And
If anyone is watching this, yes, I am single. But, hit me up. Not Tinder.
not Tinder.
Okay, so this article I'm reading was just pretty much Steve Carell and Rob McElhenney or whatever, however you say his name.
I don't know.
Mac from Sunny. They're talking to each other saying they should do a crossover episode. That would be fucking awesome. Because they made a good point. I think they said Scranton is only like 150 miles from Philly.
Yep.
Sorry. I burped into the mic and then looked away. I'll get there eventually. But he said that they're teasing kind of a crossover episode, which would be awesome. And also Angela and someone else from The Office tweeted that they would do it. That'd be awesome. That'd be a really good crossover. Everyone would love it. That's two of the most beloved shows that are out there. And The Office has been all up on Comedy Central lately. I've been watching a lot of episodes.
I guess it's a big deal because Netflix is not going to be able to show The Office anymore after 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, they're going to pull out their rights or something. I didn't read about it, but I heard about it.
All these networks are launching their own streaming services, and NBC knows that if it has The Office on its streaming service, then people will subscribe to it because people watch that show obsessively for some reason. What are you looking at?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Why can't I just sit here? Why can't I just sit here?
Yeah, that's what you were saying the other. Why can't I just lay here?
Yeah.
You got a relationship advice question for us, Danny?
Definitely.
No, I got still more things.
Stay off the online dating apps.
So
Try to meet someone in person.
Be Real was talking to Talib Kweli and talking about his all-star team of celebrities that he smoked with. You could probably guess a couple of them.
I don't know.
Just guess one.
I don't-
You can guess one for sure.
Snoop Dogg?
Yes.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg and Wiz Khalifa, he says. And the other people he names. And Be Real obviously has been smoking weed for fucking ever. Since before the 90s, before he became famous. And he also named Mike Tyson, Matt Barnes from the NBA, Joe Rogan, and this is the one that's weird, Melissa Etheridge. Is that weird?
Yeah.
She makes what? A song I've heard before?
I cannot name a Melissa Etheridge song. I'm sorry.
But there's one out there that I know.
Maybe.
There's just... I like that you can edit this video because now that I'm looking through and I'm lazy and I don't read videos, you and Danny might be able to make some banter here while I read an article. But some of the articles I'm looking through, Indian man 20 wakes up at his own funeral. Right?
Crazy shit happens in India.
We're going to have to figure that out.
Remember the Ripley's Believe It or
I
Not?
just saw a video of like maybe the trains are so packed.
Yeah, I
there.
saw that. People jumping on the trains.
Yeah, no, you posted that. What am I tripping? Yeah, just
What am I
people
tripping?
grabbing the fucking train pole when it's going like 20.
Yeah.
So the one guy missed too. That one dude that missed, you could just see his desperation, and he must have fell and got.
How fucking terrible are the trains that people feel like they have to jump on them before
Even stopped.
they've even stopped?
Yeah.
India is a place that if I never ever had to go there in my whole life, I'd be pretty happy. It just seems smelly and loud and hot. Let's argue, Danny.
Argue.
Let's argue, or we could smoke some weed about it.
Do that too.
World peace.
Both.
Metal World Peace.
Metal world peace. Was about world peace.
Are you ready for this drive home, Danny?
Well,
I'm saving that joint, so yeah.
that
I'll play some
article-
Super Mario Maker.
That article's not too notable. I guess it's nothing other than what it said pretty much in the name, that some guy was pronounced dead and they were like giving him a funeral and he was about to, be buried. And then he kind of like started
I
breathing.
think they cremate people in that culture.
He started fucking breathing, dude.
Yeah, they do cremation over there.
So is this a fake article?
No, I'm just saying that like they don't bury people, they cremate them.
Oh, and one I don't need to read too much because I remember reading about it before, was this Navy SEAL that all he got to sentenced to was a reduced ranked and like partial pay after he killed some motherfucker.
Apparently, he killed a
Already know who I'm talking about.
14-year-old POW.
Is that what it is? Like,
Yeah.
All I know is that like they had him already imprisoned, and then he fucking
Yeah.
killed him for some reason.
Who knows?
Either way, that's pretty fucked up, man. You ain't got to kill no prisoner.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. So what do you want to argue about?
Oh, one that I did read that I liked was this guy that owns an ice cream truck. I think it was in New York or something. Is starting to. He's gonna pay social media influencers double because he's getting so many social media influencers coming up. If you give me free ice cream, then I'll post about your truck or whatever, And he's gotten to the end of his rope where he's just like, if you're a social media influencer and you say something to me, I'm charging you double.
That's awesome.
It is fucking awesome. It's like, fuck you guys showing up like, oh, well, I have so many followers that I'll post about your ice cream and you'll get business, so just give it to me for free. Like, no. Pay like everyone else. Fuck
Yeah.
you. You're a piece of shit. And one I feel like I don't even need to read. Some Taco Bell restaurants are running out of tortillas.
Why?
I don't know, man. I don't want to read it, but that seems like, come on. That's your thing. Almost like everything you sell has tortilla. You gots to have it, baby.
Pretty much everything.
Well, I guess if there's nothing else to do here, well,
I'll read the headlines of what I had. I just don't want to read them. The Taco Bell one is the tortilla shortages. Amazon confirms it keeps your Alexa recordings basically forever.
I knew that.
Rob McElhenney and Charlie Day pull 4th of July prank on It's Always Sunny fans, which I read actually was he posted a picture of Charlie like writing a script, and then like he left the screen of the computer open so people could read it, and it was about like Mac and Dennis getting together and being gay, and Charlie died. But then, like, the last line that you could see on the script was like, I can't believe you read all this, and you would think that we would put our plot out there so easily for people to find.
Well, I guess we wrap this one up, huh?
Georgia family fires contractor after showing
We
up
could.
with a Confederate flag.
Yeah, I would too.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Georgia's a at-will employment state. You can fire anyone for any reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dead guy.
But on the other hand, if they already signed a contract with the guy, then he's got to do the job and they've got to pay him.
If I got to be honest with you, I think I have to read the article that I saved the article just so I could get to the list of articles that I have already saved. But now that I'm looking at which one I saved, Vanilla Ice goes to haunted museum, claims ghost touched him.
Yeah.
I think I might need to read that one real quick. You can edit it. Let me read this article real quick. Talk about something with Danny.
Okay, Danny. God damn, I wish you had someone to pick you up. I don't want to drive an extra hour.
That's what you want to argue
That's what I want to argue about.
Worst case scenario, I just call a Lyft ride.
Turns a 3.5 hour drive to like a 4.5 hour drive.
Once I'm close enough, I just call a Lyft.
You ain't got
Really no biggie.
You ain't got no money for no lift.
Well, you shouldn't be concerned about that if you don't want to take me.
Why don't you get your mom to pick you up?
My mom could be working for all I know. I don't know what she's doing.
You have a phone. She has a phone.
When I came here, I was under the impression that I would get picked up from my house and get dropped off. But
So you wanted a door-to-door chauffeur service.
I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm still giving you money for gas. But
Yeah, you'd
why is
pay-
that
you'd-
even part of the podcast?
You'd pay a chauffeur.
Yeah, sure. Are you a chauffeur?
Apparently you think I am.
Well,
No.
so there's nothing really about that Vanilla Ice article. It's about he was at a haunted museum and he thought something touched him. So it's not really interesting at all. It's pretty not interesting at all. But actually, I opened a can of worms where you guys are fighting about who's going to get dropped off where. I like it.
What do you think?
You know, honestly, if I had to say what should happen, I would say, if I was you, I would take Danny to his house. But maybe he, like he said, he'd just a little something, buy you a fucking cheeseburger or something. A cheeseburger.
Yeah.
He'd fucking buy you a cheeseburger.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not worried about it. You can leave me wherever
Hey,
you
man,
can.
he'll probably blow you if you want him to.
I asked for a bro job and he said no.
Well,
no.
shit.
I'll
Okay.
just call a fucking Lyft when I'm close enough to my house. It's not the end of the world. I've dealt with bigger issues. What
This
are you trying
guy's
to?
so cool.
Are you trying to one up me because you think you can't take me all the way home?
Wow.
You know?
Now he's calling
no first
you out.
base.
Pussy, you can't take him home?
It's
Are
all
you
good.
kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, maybe that's the difference. Is I look at you guys as friends and.
And how do you think we look at you?
Maybe just some kind of douchebag who.
I just look at you like,
Can't
what
take
is
all the
this?
way home.
What is this guy? What is this piece of trash over here?
Yeah.
And then I look at this guy and I'm like, what is this piece of trash over here?
Yeah, if you
Why
want an
did I bring
apology,
two-
I'm sorry. For,
Why did I bring 2 pieces of trash with me to the cabin?
I'm sorry for talking so much shit for being a douchebag.
Oh, man, this is nice. I'm sorry, too. I didn't even do anything bad, but whatever. Ooh, Nate's not sad. He didn't apologize.
Good.
He's just digging his feet under the carpet under here, being a weirdo.
I hate that. I hate when people do that.
I hate it when people do that, too.
Cut this shit, man. I want a
How is
little
this?
bowl. I want a little bowl.
No, you can't. It's gonna be way too red on
I'll
camera.
blind the fans.
You'll wash out the image. But I guess we can wrap it up by we all walk away from here, and then we can open up the windows, and I'll adjust the iris on the camera
And let people watch.
and let people see the coast.
Okay.
Okay. We're gonna wrap this up and go home. We're gonna pack this up, and
I'm not going home.
Sam's not going home.
I'm staying here.
Sam's staying here.
I'm getting murdered tonight, so how about that? You see,
We hardly knew ye.
we hardly knew ye. I'm gonna totally this gravel. Oh, dude, what is up with you?
Let's put him up like that.
The gravel guy he's gonna come get me, and I'm gonna talk into the microphone no matter where he puts it. And he's gonna come get me. I'll hear him walking around out there at night, but I'm not even scared. I'll fuck him up.
Open up the window, Sam.
Open up the windows. All right, are you ready? This is the end of the podcast, right? Are you ready?
This is the end.
We got to blind the fans for the end. Where's the other one? So does this one open the blinds?
Yeah.
Can I get both of them?
If you stand up.
Yeah. Oh, it broke off. Oh. Whoa. The ocean. The ocean. The ocean. I couldn't get it open all the way. It's fucking.
Open it all the way.
Ah! Why do you want me to do this? Okay, I fucking ripped off the knob on one of these. Can you see?
Yes, you can see.
Really? Well, why the fuck didn't we record like this the whole time?
Because you can't see you. You can see outside.
Oh. Oh shit, man. That was successful, right? That was successful, right?
Sure.
Sure. I think a lot.
Hit up black from the bars, he got plenty. Damn. Hey, money, bitch. Fuck you talking about, man. We out this thing. Fuck it.
Good gas, got the junkies impatient. Fuck the kitchen, bitch, I'm back in the basement. Want a feature, I'ma need me my payments. Fuck the faking brother, send a location. Masked up, get two